Hi everyone, welcome back to my garden. It's the beginning of June and the garden is full of lush spring crops, but my summer crops are still waiting to be planted. At first glance, it might seem like there is no space left for summer planting, but that's exactly what this video is about. I'll show you how I'm transitioning the spring kitchen garden into a thriving summer garden without clearing the beds completely. In the spring, we typically grow cool season crops like spinach, radish, carrots, and brassicas such as broccoli and cauliflower. I prefer to plant densely, leaving no bare soil visible between the plants. This method has several benefits. It helps retain moisture in the soil, which means less frequent watering. It supports healthy soil microbes, it suppresses weeds, and it reduces the amount of maintenance needed overall. This approach is inspired by square foot gardening, where we challenge the traditional space guidelines found on seed packets to maximize space. When you look at a densely planted bed, it might seem like there is no space left, but if you peek beneath the leaves, you will find open spaces at the soil level. That's exactly the space we'll use for our summer crops, still following a no bare soil principle. Some of my spring crops like spinach, coriander, and radish will be completely harvested in a couple of weeks. Some of them will be sown again, while others like carrots, beetroots, and brassicas need more time to mature, so they will remain in the bed for a while. This is one thing to consider while planning a summer garden around a spring garden. That is, how much time does a crop have in a garden bed? Hope I am making some sense. Let me show you how I do the slow transition of my vegetable garden from spring mode to a summer mode. At first, I am placing my summer seedlings to see where they might fit in the best. For example, these are my chili plants. They can go among the spinach and radishes since those will finish soon as the temperature rises. Most spring crops have shallow roots, so there is plenty of room underneath for the summer crops to establish. As the spring plants are harvested, the summer ones like chilies will take over and cover the soil. I'm also planting two eggplants in a similar way, finding small pockets of space for them. Here I have got two Brussels sprout seedlings going in with the broccoli. I also have seedlings of some spring crops left like spinach, beetroot, carrots, sugar snap peas. So I'll be doing a succession planting with them to follow what is already growing in the bed. There are a few lettuce seedlings left which will go right in the middle of the brassicas. I'm even adding a few flower seedlings like poppies in the bed corners for attracting pollinators and of course to make the space look pretty. Now that we have found a place for the crops, we'll go bed by bed and plant these crops. In the first bed, I'm planting a seedling of spinach, beetroot, sugar snap peas, which will be placed along with the other peas growing on the bamboo trellis, and a pepper plant. Apart from these crops, I'm also sowing seeds of pole beans, which will go right in the middle of the bed. Once they sprout, I'll install a trellis to support them. In the second small bed, I'm planting two carrot seedlings and an eggplant seedling. This time I'm not adding any amendments to the soil since the soil is new and fresh. But typically when I'm planting a new crop in the place of an old one, I add a layer of compost and sometimes worm castings or bone meal depending on the plant needs and also what I have. While planting, I always try to remove the lower leaves to prevent them from touching the wet soil. This helps the plant avoid getting diseases. Like the other bed, I'm sowing seeds of cucumber right in the middle of this bed. Normally, by this time, I would have summer seedlings like cucumbers, zucchinis ready, but since I didn't start them early enough this time, I'm directly sowing them onto the beds. In the next bed where the broccoli is growing, I'm planting an eggplant, a pepper seedling, two Brussels sprout seedling, they'll mature only towards the winter, and a poppy flower which will go at the corner. As I go planting, I'm just removing the lower leaves which are yellow and damaged and cleaning up the bed a little bit. As next, I'm planting the lettuce right in the middle of the bed. Once the brassicas take over, they'll provide enough shade for the lettuce so that they don't bolt that easily. Apart from these crops, I'm sowing seeds of zucchini, yard-long beans, bitter gourd and senior. This will make this bed ready to take on summer. Don't forget to include flowers and herbs in each bed. These are essentials. I plan to pick a thyme seedling to plant at the edge of this bed. In the last bed, I'm planting some chilies and eggplants along with spinach, radish and beetroot that are already growing in this bed. Just like the other beds, here I'm sowing watermelon. I let them take over this bed or even sprawl out a little bit if they want to. We'll see how that goes. So that is how I slowly switch a kitchen garden from spring mode to summer mode. Here you can see how densely they are planted. We can't even make out the chili plant from the spinach or radish. The spinach and radish will go for 2 to 3 more weeks. I'll keep harvesting them. As the temperature rises, the chilies, peppers and eggplant will take some height and take over the bed. Many gardeners, including myself in the past, are used to clearing out the whole bed at the end of a season before starting a new one. But now I prefer a gradual transition. Remember that we don't have to wait for the garden to be empty before planting. In fact, bare soil is not ideal. Keeping the soil always covered is better for its health. I hope this video gave you some ideas and inspiration for your own garden. I'll continue harvesting and succession planting cool season crops like radishes, beets and carrots that can handle the summer heat. I'm hoping to make a separate video on that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next. Bye and take care.